So what's up, everybody? It's the HR guy here. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about preventing workplace harassment. It's a topic that I've dealt a lot with, and I think there's a ton of ways to tackle this, and lots of things to talk about, particularly now in an era where Me Too is something that's talked about a lot in the Time's Up movement. But I only want to talk about one particular aspect today, and we could always come back to more later. It's the idea of, when do I go and talk to somebody in HR about an issue? I've had a few conversations with people recently, and a lot of times I get the question or the comment that says, well, is it really worth it? Maybe it's not a big deal, or is it me? And I like to present people with a couple of options and ideas to think about. First off, when it comes to harassment issues or potential harassment issues, our judgment sometimes is skewed because we're invested in this emotionally. And regardless of whether or not something meets the definition of legal harassment or a hostile work environment, there's still opportunity to have a conversation with the offender to let them understand, well, what's actually going on? How's it making you feel? Because most people aren't going to work to piss somebody off. They're going there, and if they're doing something that actually is affecting someone negatively, they're going to want to stop it. So it's always worth having a conversation with an HR professional to understand the best way to approach it, even if it's not, like I said, something that legally meets the definition. If by chance it's one of those gray areas, right? So if you have a situation where it's subtle enough and maybe it's not actually harassment, I don't know. Another reason for bringing that to HR is that we have the benefit of broader perspective. So you may be one of 5 or one of 3 or one of 10 that has brought a particular issue to our attention. And it helps us build patterns, right? So there are some things that individuals do that are pretty subtle, and one-off. It probably isn't something that's considered harassment, but if it is a pattern of behavior, then it gives us an opportunity to look into something. So what you're doing is you're helping us create an understanding of a pattern of behavior, and whether or not it's actually an issue is something that we could determine from that. So if you're sitting there and you're not sure if you've experienced something that is potentially illegal, I say still talk to your HR business partner, your people operations person, to let them know what's going on, let them determine whether or not it meets that threshold, and then what can actually happen. But more importantly, let's make sure that we are stopping harassment when harassment is occurring. So that's what I got for you today. I'm sure we can talk more about harassment in the workplace, and I'll have some other topics to talk about at a later date, but that's all I got for today. It's my HR guy. I'll talk to you later.